Welcome back to the channel. I'm going to do a quick collective. And if you're new here, welcome. And I do not tarot readings. I do collective law of attraction oracle readings, where we bring to you the law of attraction techniques and so on. That you need to hear at this time. So first one up. Let me put my glasses on so I can see what I'm saying. Hang on here. Okay. Your electronic devices operate at 50 to 60 hertz. So does depression, guilt, shame, fear. Okay. So I'm guessing somebody here spends a lot of time on their electronic devices, Wi-Fi going, whatever, all the time. Most homes actually have Wi-Fi 24/7. They just don't bother shutting it off. Now, if you know law of attraction at all, you know that everything has a frequency. Every emotion has a frequency. And those frequencies determine a lot of things. But in this case alone, let's say, 50 and 60 hertz, if you were to Google what your electronic devices, what frequencies they function on, you'll find that in, I think it's Canada and US, they operate at 60 hertz. Whereas in, I think the UK and overseas there, I think they operate at 50 hertz. But it'll be one of the two. And these are the same frequencies as depression and guilt and shame and fear. And when frequencies match, they blend. They become one and the same. Okay? So an electronic frequency, so when you're, I'll just use the Wi-Fi modem as an example, is at either 50 or 60 hertz. Okay? So it's pumping out and utilizing that hertz range in order to function. Okay? But when you're exposed to 50 to 60 hertz, day after day after day after day, hour after hour after hour, 24/7, it's only a matter of time before you start to operate on that same frequency. Okay? So if you find yourself depressed, feeling guilty, shame, fear, I think a good way to root out whether that is you or whether it's just too much screen time would be to shut off your Wi-Fi, shut off your devices, go for a walk in nature, hug a tree, go bare feet, ground out, do whatever you can do to get away from the continuous 50 to 60 hertz that's being pumped into the atmosphere. Okay? Somebody needs a break from screen time. Probably myself included. Okay? All right. However you see yourself is how your enemy sees you. Okay? If you look upon yourself as weak and no good and nothing ever works out, and if it weren't for bad luck, it'd be no luck at all, stuff like that, then so does your enemy. And they take that as an opportunity to take advantage, to knock you down more, or it depends on who your enemy is and what their purpose is. But however you see yourself is how your enemy sees you. So the next time you look in the mirror, try saying something positive. Like, oh man, you're so beautiful. Oh, or I love how confident I am and I'm so intelligent and I can fix or do anything, and whatever it is that you think is how you would like other people to see you, then you got to see yourself that way too. If your enemy sees you as confident and courageous and on top of the world and ready to just win everything, they certainly are not going to use that opportunity to try and knock you down. It won't. It will not work, and they know it. Okay. All right. Let's see what we got here. Woo! Chaos is the unformed energy that is used for creation. Now, everything around you in the ethers is energy. All right. And until it is formed into anything, it's just chaotic energy. It's just in and around everything. So you can use that. And the way you use that is through your thoughts and your heart space. So what you think about, you bring about. And what you think about, you put out into the universe, and it collects along the way all the matching frequencies to it. So all this chaos, unformed energy, it got there from other people's thoughts and things like that. So depending on what the other people's thoughts were that put out that energy and so on, will depend on what that energy is. So, and every stretch of the imagination, right from the most negative frequency or zero frequency, right up to over 1,000 frequency, is available in the ethers all around you. All the empty space around you is full of it. So the way you capture this unformed energy is through your thoughts, because your thoughts will attract to it more energy that matches it. So you can use that energy around you, magnetized to you by your thoughts, because it will snowball, it'll attract to it more and just get bigger and bigger and actually manifest. So your thoughts can pick through this chaos all the matching electrical fields and frequencies, and as it comes back to you, it collects it and manifests and becomes whatever it is that you're thinking about. So it's unlimited. Like, there is space all around you, and it's full of this chaos. All right. So you can use that. It can create good things. It can create bad things. It can create whatever you are focused on. Okay. Law of attraction is akin to gravity. You cannot turn it off. Just like you can't turn off gravity. All right. It doesn't matter what you're thinking about and what you're feeling about. It's always attracting that back to you. You can't turn it off. You can't decide, oh, I think, I'm going to use the law of attraction right now. I'm going to focus and think of all these wonderful things. And yes, it may work when you're proactively doing that. But when you're not proactively thinking of these things and purposely trying to create something or attract anything, guess what? You're still attracting stuff. You're still creating. It doesn't matter. You cannot turn it off. So pay attention to what you're thinking about. Okay? You'd be surprised what you're attracting into your own experience unwillingly, just simply because you catch yourself in a negative train thought, and next thing you know, everything bad's happening to you and you don't know why, and well, you did it yourself. Okay? Every day is an opportunity for a new life, because every day you have an opportunity to first recognize that you created what you're experiencing, for one, and then two, make the adjustments that you need to make to your thoughts in order for everything to change. Okay? Every day is a new opportunity to create your dreams. Whether you do or not is up to you. But that opportunity is definitely there. All right? Okay. I'm thinking that maybe somebody in the collective here is feeling a little down on themselves, and they don't realize that They don't shut off law of attraction. It doesn't turn off. So you got to realize that only you can turn that around. All right? Only you can decide that I'm not going to feel like this anymore. I just refuse to. I'm going to feel better. I'm going to reach for better thoughts and therefore create better things. Everything is energy. You are a magnet. Your thoughts control your magnetic field. Okay? Every thought you have, let's just for sake of argument say that good thoughts are pink and bad thoughts are brown. So every time you think good thoughts, pink energy goes out into the atmosphere. And every time you think bad thoughts, brown energy goes out into the atmosphere. Okay? So your thoughts control your magnetic field. So if you're thinking good thoughts, not only are things pink going out into the atmosphere, but as the energy flows through your body, it creates a magnetic field perpendicular to the flow. So that magnetic field, if your thoughts are good and pink, then the magnetic field is pink, or the aura is pink. Okay? If your thoughts are bad, and in this case we picked brown, then the magnetic field will be brown. And guess what it attracts to? Like attracts like. So the pink attracts the pink back to it that you put out. But in the process of it coming back to you, it collects more pink dots and pink energy along the way and comes back a larger expression of that pink. So and if you keep doing it, it eventually brings back to you the manifestation that you're trying to manifest, or in a lot of cases something even better, because it's collected like a snowball along the way. Okay? Everything is energy. This table's energy. These cards are energy. They're just in different forms, different forms of that energy. So you can control your magnetic field by your thoughts, and that magnetic field will attract to it the same frequency that it is putting out. So if you want to attract good or pink, put out pink. Bring back pink. It's really that simple. Okay? A lot of people try to make law of attraction seem so difficult and this and that. And yeah, you can dive down that rabbit hole so deep, and yes, it can get very technical, but for the sake of everyday life, not everyone's going to be a bioscientist or anything like that. That's why I do this. So that you could just figure out easy everyday stuff to attract to you the life of your dreams. All right? Okay, nothing's coming out here. Let's pick another one. Oh, Mark 11:24. Whatever things you ask when you pray, believe that you receive them and you will receive them. Okay? The Bible talks about law of attraction a lot, most the time. Those parables, the Psalms, all of those, they are all talking about law of attraction. Okay? And this one, whatever things you ask when you pray, praying is your energetic thoughts going out to guidance of divine, the ethers. Okay? That's you. And if you believe that you will receive them back, whatever things that you're asking for, if you believe that guidance of divine will produce, then it will. It will bring it back to you, but you have to believe it. All right? Mark 11:24 is saying you have to, when you believe that you receive them, and you will. That's what law of attraction is all about. It's about thinking about it and believing it so that it will come back to you and you will have it, whatever it is that you're thinking about. Okay? So if you're thinking about bad things, guess what you're going to get back? You think about great things, you're going to get great things back. That's just the way law of attraction works. And remember, you can't shut it off. All right, let's pick another one. What do we got here? To receive the most benefit from your rest, always sleep with your feet to the west. Now, that's a big rabbit hole. I suggest that you Google it, or even if you know Stefan Burns, he's a geophysicist on YouTube. Google, search him. He talks about the sun and all the rays that come off it and the plasma and all that stuff. If you really want to get technical, he's a great guy that explains it very well. Okay, but he has a video talking about this. But basically, the gist of that is the Earth has the field that goes around it and goes through it and around it and goes through it. Okay, our body has that same field, but you see, ours goes in the bottom and out the top, whereas the Earth, it goes in the top and out the bottom, north and south. Okay, but we go out the top of our heads and we come in the ground from the ground, goes up into our body, and that's the flow. So when you sleep, these are all studies, scientific studies. You can search them. When the studies show that when people sleep with their head to the north, their heart rhythms are off, their sleep patterns are off. They don't reach the alpha and theta state, all those different stages of sleep. They don't get REM sleep in. They wake up usually with headaches or pressure, and that's because the energies are fighting against each other. The Earth's energy, which is much faster, coming in, around, and in, and then our energy is going the other way. It's like friction. That's what inflammation is. Okay, it's friction of those energies. A lot of times, if you have problems sleeping, pay attention to what direction your bed is facing. Okay, if you face the other way with your feet to the north and your head to the south, although you line up with the flow of energy a little better, actually goes faster, and it's kind of like being on a treadmill that's going faster than what you could do. You just keep on going it. So you may not wake up with inflammation, but you may not wake up rested either. Okay, and when your head faces to the west when you sleep, the studies show that you do get better sleep because you're not in the flow, okay, fighting against it, but you're perpendicular to the Earth's flow, so that you actually your own body can do its own flow naturally without being interrupted by that flow. Now, the studies show that you sleep better and you actually wake up rested without inflammation and so on. However, the study showed that the very best way to sleep was with your head facing east and your feet facing west. And not sure why. I'm assuming it's because that's the way the Earth rotates or the sun goes around, depending on what theory you believe in. But either way, the sun comes up in the east. So I'm thinking that this is speculation, but I'm thinking it's simply because that's where the sun comes up. So your first hit of energy when your feet are not on the ground is actually to your head. So you're rising with the sun. I think that if the sun hits your head first, even if it's not, I mean, if you're inside, the sun may not even ever hit your head. Depends on windows and what have you. But the energy is still coming from the east first. So I think that if you do that, you'll wake up with the sunrise better than if you're the other way around. But here's the important part. From all the studies, from the different directions of sleeping, facing east with your head and your feet to the west was the only position in the entire study where the people reached all stages of sleep, including the REM sleep, which is your deep dreaming sleep. They dreamed better. They remembered their dreams when they woke up. Stuff like that. No heart rhythms that are irregular, no inflammation, none of those things. So, from those studies, I didn't do the studies, I'm just saying that's what it came up with. From those studies, the best way to sleep so that you do reach all your sleep levels and you don't have inflammation from the friction of the energies against each other and no heart palpitations and stuff like that, the best way is with your head to the east and your feet to the west. Okay? All right. Let's do one more here. Okay. Oh, okay. Apparently we're going to do 3 more. All right. So, Mark 9:23. All things can be done for the one who believes. Again, see? Believe it. You have to believe it. And why is that? Because belief triggers an emotion. Okay? Belief is like, just know that you know that you know. It's no doubt. Belief is faith. Faith is no doubt. No doubt in your mind whatsoever. Okay? So again, the Bible talking about law of attraction. If you believe it, you can achieve it. Simple as that. But you got to believe it. All right? You must imagine what it would feel like to already have it in order to create it. So the key here is your emotions are the fuel, okay? They're the frequency that um, you're trying to match, and the emotions give it power. It's like putting fuel in your gas tank, okay? So you got to feel what it would be like. So if you're wanting a new car, let's say, you can't just say, oh, I want a new car, I can't wait to have a new car. I mean, you can, but it's going to take a long time to manifest. But if you can imagine, what color is that car? What make is that car? Is it a stick shift? Is it automatic? Is it, when you open the door, do you smell the fresh new car smell? When you can you see yourself sitting in the driver's seat? Put your hands around the steering wheel, feel the steering wheel, put your foot on the gas pedal, hear the motor roar. You know, like you gotta really, really, really feel like you already have it. And that's what the energy is to match, because already having it is going to feel and have a certain frequency by that feeling. And you got to match that so that they blend and it becomes part of your existence seamlessly. You won't even know how it's coming. It won't matter how it's coming. It'll just come. See the perfection everywhere. Okay, so this is a lesson in gratitude and recognizing that nothing is by accident. Okay, there is perfection everywhere. Like, how amazing is it that they can turn a tree into a piece of paper? I mean, okay, we may not like that idea and all, but the fact that they can perfectly do it and make all these different, like, that's shiny. That's shiny. Okay, and there is perfection everywhere. Look at this beautiful table, how they made that from a tree. Like, there are so many books. We couldn't even read books without trees. The perfection of how they did that. Like, there is perfection everywhere. The sky is beautiful, blue, the clouds. Yeah, ignore the chemtrails. But even that is perfection, right? As sad as that is, even that is perfection. They have figured out how to manipulate weather simply by what they're pumping into the skies. I mean, they perfected it. So there's perfection everywhere. And when you start recognizing that and start feeling gratitude for that perfection, then you will also attract to you perfection. Okay? The perfection of whatever it is you're trying to manifest. All right? Let's do one more. Cut the deck here. What do we got? Take that step, no matter how insignificant it may seem in the moment. All right? If you've got a goal, go for it. It doesn't matter if you think, well, I'll never reach that goal. I don't have enough money for that, or I can't do this, or take a little step. Research. That doesn't cost anything. Get on your phone, Google what it is that you're trying to manifest. Maybe it's a new job. Maybe it's a new car. Maybe it's a new house. Maybe it's a new partner. Like, research it. Do some, what would be one step that you would do? You would read some information on it. If you're trying to attract somebody, then maybe one step would be, I don't know, paying more attention to how you look and feel, right? If it doesn't matter, take one little step, and insignificant as it may seem, taking that step forward towards your goal shows the universe you're serious, shows the universe that you're willing to walk in the right direction if you're just shown the way. Okay? A little insignificant step in that direction of your goal shows the universe that you want more. You want another step. You want to see where the next step is. When you're driving your car at nighttime and the headlights are on, you only see 100 feet in front of you. But you still drive that 100 feet. You don't think, oh, that's it. I can't go any farther. I can only see 100 feet. No, because as you go forward, it lights the way forward a little more and a little more. So take that step, even if it's a little step. You'll be able to see a little farther. More information will come into view of that you didn't know of before you took that step. Okay? Somebody's hesitant about going towards their goals. Take a step, even if it's just a little one. Take it. You'll be glad you did. All right? So, there is your collective law of attraction lesson for today. And let's get a little manifestation card here. See what the secret has for us. What secret do you have? Let's see. Let's grab one. The world needs your happiness. It does. I don't know if you realize how important that is. A life of suffering or unhappiness and a life deprived of all things you most want does not help the world. But your happiness, your abundance, and your life lived to the fullest uplifts the entire world. And it does. Because when you're happy, you have great energy. You ever notice when you're excited about something, you could stay up all night long working on it, doing something. You get on a roll and you're just like, holy crap, it's 3:00 in the morning and I'm still working on this. Like, you lose track of time, you lose track of sleep, everything. When you are excited about something and happy about a goal that you're working towards, time doesn't matter. Nothing matters. And when you are operating in that frequency, as with your thoughts, everything's going out to the universe and you're bringing it back to you. But the thing is, it's like cloud seeding with happiness. All right, you're putting it out to the universe, and all it takes is a little tiny mustard seed of somebody else, a little bit of happiness, putting it out, and it attracts to that little bit, that what you put out there, and it comes back to them, and it makes them happier. And anybody else that you interact with, when you're happy and you interact with other people, if your happiness is energized and excited, it will draw out, even if it's just the tiniest little happiness that the other person may have in them. They could be in their downest day, but if you come up to them and talk to them with a huge happiness in your aura, you'll draw a smile out of there. You'll make them smile, and they will feel better being around you. Some people just like to hang around with other people because they just feel better that way. And that's why. Okay? So your happiness does help the whole world. And by you being happy and spreading it to somebody else to make them happy, then they go and interact with somebody and it helps them be happy. All right? Be a super spreader of happiness. Okay? All right. That's your collective law of attraction oracle for today. I hope you enjoyed it, and hopefully you can take something from it. All right? Have a blessed day, and we will see you on the next one. Thank you for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe to get your next videos. Have a great day.